So we're going to do a qualifying session on the GP circuit. That's going to determine the grid for the main race, which is going to be on the full Nurburgring. Same car though. This video is supported by YouTube ads. If you want to support me, please consider whitelisting my channel on your ad blocker if you use one. You'll never see a mid-roll ad in any of my videos. Yeah, this is going to be dicey. Around the full Nurburgring as well. In the rain. Good old, there's nothing like a chicane to get people crashing. Too early on the throttle, bollocks. I just lost it all. I was 7/10 up. It's all gone in a couple of corners. Oh, the time's about to run out as well. This is going to be the last lap. Damn. I've really not maximised my qualifying performance in this one. '27th. Disappointing. There's definitely a 57 in me. We got a harmonic start, so it's going to start off the leaders first. We are in qualifying order. 97 people. The guys at the back, it's going to be a while. Three laps, Nurburgring in the rain in the Yuga V12. It's time to settle in, I think. Am I on the right camera? Oh, yeah, I was. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. This was an absolutely flawless idea from the beginning. See if I can race better than I qualified. Look at the train of cars. Some people, the back end haven't even started yet with the harmonic start. Coming a mile away. Rip. I better respawn. It was almost glorious until it wasn't. And now it's carnage. And now it's the carnage we were expecting from a 97 player race around the Nurburgring in the rain in vans. In V12 vans, I should say, not just any old van. 150-mile-an-hour vans. Oh no! Oh. And so it begins. I thought having the qualifying order would actually help, but it really hasn't. Oh, I missed it! Must have tightened up the checkpoints, so no cutting. It seems a lot less, a lot more stringent than it was on the GP circuit. Alright, down to 43rd after all that mess. Let's try and make up places now. The first lap was so good, I'd made up so many places. It was never going to last, was it? And then the carnage happened. Guys, respawn for the love of God! Don't just loll about on the track or drive backwards to get a checkpoint or something. How do you respawn on a controller? Hold select for the menu. To the middle. We'll take that. There's top 30. I think there's potential for more positions, hopefully. There's a lot of cars. I mean, they're not cars, they're vans. A lot of vehicles in front. It's a massive train. And 50 mile an hour in a van. I need to get on the back of this train of vans. It's happening pretty quick as they're probably all slowing each other down. Alright, miss a few positions. Oh! That was early. That was very early on the brakes. And yeah, the chrome blinded me, so how am I expected to see that? Alright, 24th. We're making places. We're making gains. Edges of a top 20. Have to back off. It's so much extra speed. I knew I had more pace in me than what my qualifying suggested. I wasn't expecting coming up the field like this after that first lap. Well, first few corners of the first lap. It's been a good first lap. Top 20 in sight. This is fun, actually. 97 people around the Nurburgring in vans. V12 160-mile-an-hour vans in the rain. It's 21st. And we're on to lap 2. Way too much wheel spin. There's top 20. Must have had it coming together. Now let's see what else we can get. At least he respawned immediately. Made it less bad. I think a top 15 is possible. There's quite a few in front of me. I'm already in a better position than what my qualifying was. It's just been much harder to get to that point from my qualifying position rather than it's been a lot harder to get there from where I was on that first lap in like 40th place or whatever it was, in comparison to if I'd just been able to keep going forward from like 20th or whatever. Oh, that's wide. Minimize the damage. right. Ow. Alright, 17th next. Got a good exit there. A lot more difficult to find a way past at this point. And I've got someone behind me as well that I need to keep an eye on. Nice. Must have missed the checkpoint. There's 17th. Now we're fighting for 16th. There's the opportunity. There's 16th. Four seconds to a top 15. But I've got Slegged behind me, shadowing me all the way. I think we're seeing the difference between 60 FPS and 85 FPS. I keep telling people that me running at 85 FPS makes me slower than if I was at 60. Goes in waves. 59 is actually the quickest, and then it gets slower and slower until you get to like 90, and then quicker again until you get to 119, I think, FPS, and then it starts getting quicker at 119 upwards, I think. .85 FPS for me is the best that looks the best on the stream and the videos, but I am slower than if I was locked at 60. Ooh, Patreon. Thank you for the Patreon pledge. That was a nice little bit of back and forth racing. That was really good. These vans in the rain are really good for that sort of stuff. We're both, even with us fighting, we're both catching 14th and 15th. I think a top 15 is definitely on. Way too wide. This is so much fun though. Like, the Nurburgring on 8th gear, racing GTA cars around it isn't new. We did that a few years ago. But racing like 97 people around it at the same time in these vans in the rain, it all works. This is just a lot of fun. We were 20 seconds faster than 15th on the last lap. Really? Okay. So it's definitely possible. They are big laps, I suppose. They're battling as well, 14th and 15th. The data doesn't lie. Oh, big old crashes. That's 14th. And there's 13th. 16 seconds back from 12th, that's not gonna happen. So now it's a battle between me and Slegged for the remainder of the lap, I think, over this 13th place. What's 13th out of 97 in a vanilla GTA lobby? What does that work out to? Is it top 5 yet or not quite? Fourth? Oh yeah, top 5's always possible then. This has been a really good race. I've enjoyed this. I knew I had better pace than what my qualifying suggested. I thought it was all over after that first few corners of the first lap, but it's been nice to have come back through the pack. I mean, I qualified, what, 25th, 26th, something like that? So I've bettered my qualifying performance significantly in the race. Qualifying was on the shorter circuit, obviously, but I'm going to lose out on the straight again, aren't I? Caught up significantly to 11th and 12th, who seem to be battling as well, but... And I've got 8/10 of an advantage. That might be enough, 9/10. I had a better exit that time. I just had enough in hand. Damn, what a race. GG Slegged, that was a great little battle, I enjoyed that. Thanks for the GGs. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Coming back through the pack. Top 5's always possible if we were scaling it to a regular GTA lobby. 12 seconds down lap time wise on the winner, but that's fine. I had better race pace than my qualifying pace. I think I had pace good enough for like a top, maybe a top 6 or 7 overall, but that was a good little comeback from 40th. Yeah, my comment earlier about the FPS about 59 is that 59 is better than 60. And that is the best until you get to 119. And then 119, 120, higher than that, you get quicker and quicker. It's that middle point between 60 FPS and 120 FPS where you actually get slower as you approach 90 and then faster as you approach 120 or whatever. They need to update to expand and enhanced so it doesn't matter. You are 6 FPS off the exact midpoint. Yeah, exactly. I'm almost as bad as it could be. I think 90 is the same, almost the same as 30 from what I can remember. Maybe not as bad, but close. Why don't you try 119 FPS then? I'm pretty sure I tried it and it looked worse on the stream. Like, being at a higher FPS looked worse because there was tearing, I think. Being at a lower FPS, closer to 60, looked worse because it just didn't sync with the screen. And then I settled on somewhere in the middle and it gave the best compromise.